And we're going to read the Wonky Donkey first. Somebody is climbing up my leg. The Wonky Donkey. The kids loved this book when I read it. Used to. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Yee-haw! And he only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey. And look, he even has an artificial leg. Just like Bonnie had. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Yee-haw! He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Yee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was a honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road, and I saw a donkey. Yee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music, and he was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Yee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim, and he smelled really bad. He was a stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really, really bad. And that morning he got up early and he hadn't had his coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. Say that fast, real fast. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really, really bad. That morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee, and he was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Yee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really, really bad. That morning he got up early and didn't have any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief, but he was still quite good looking. He was a spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, dinky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. All right, so I'm going to repeat that. He was a spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. Just to make sure. Thank you, Sharon. And I don't think I did show you that picture. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Yee-haw! So that is the Wonky Donkey. I am actually really, really surprised I couldn't find this because I was thinking of this book and I thought it would be perfect for story time, and it is. Okay. Next book is also a donation. And this, I'm not sure who it's from. I was a dispatcher for the Pennsylvania State Police for 28 years. This book was written by one of my troopers. So this is You Can't Buy a Shark by Its Cover. Written and illustrated by Lee Walber. This book is dedicated to all the sharks. May your treasure and identity within shine beyond your skin. Very nice. The journey was long, but Steve didn't mind. He would see for himself this one-of-a-kind. He packed up his things and left for the reef, an exciting new place beyond belief. A new fish park is where he'd been told. Lots of fun and friends. The water's not cold. Illustrations are pretty good here. And this is copyrighted 2020, so it's a pretty brand new book. All fish welcome, said the sign at the gate. Steve smiled at the thought of the friends he would make. Hello, Songbird. Yes, howdy. How's the heat there, Songbird? His turn finally came. He began to swim through when a fish named Bing said, "No, you won't do." Your teeth are too sharp and it scares me to say. I'm afraid you might eat some of us today. I like kale and kelp. A vegetarian I am. I don't eat fish. And my best friend's a clam. But Steve was not welcome and soon left the sight. He swam back home to consider his plight. This is an awesome, awesome book. I really like this. He searched through his trunk that was packed full of tricks. Tried on some false teeth to see if they fit. Yep, and Coralie is here, Songbird, right there. And Spiker is just off camera. Pontia is back in back of the center. Ramsey was just here. I don't know if Ramsey is out. And then, of course, Etal. I don't know if I showed you this shark with false teeth. Thank you, Songbird. Appreciate it. He returned to the gate where a fish named Harry exclaimed with alarm, "Your eyes look so scary!" Hello.
Hi.
What if I cover my eyes with some shades? Then surely they'll let me join the parade. Oh, nice, Sage. You know, Sage, my cat likes to watch the videos too, the cats. And my cats like to paw at the cats walking by. It's kind of funny. Sometimes they look behind the TV. It's awesome. Again, Steve went back with glasses in place. Met a fish named Wanda who gave him a face. She stood there all snooty and raising her nose and said, "The fish we let in must have bright, shiny clothes. You're dull and you're gray and frankly just sad. You'll only fit in if you're hip, cool, and rad. I like the fish called Wanda. That's just clever. Very clever. What else could Steve use from his treasures at home? A jacket, a hat, a fancy shark comb. This bright colored shirt, I'll wear it today and wrap it around me to cover my gray. Decked out in these colors, he'd surely not fail. He was totally cool from his nose to his tail. Back at the park, things suddenly changed. Not a fish was in sight. It was all very strange. When voices rang out from the coral and kelp, echoes of cries, "Help! Help! Help!" Thank you, Carol. That's awful nice of you. Fishing above with net, hook, and string were men who had snagged Wanda, Harry, and Bing. They struggled and pulled and began to yell louder. Will this be the day we all become chowder? Well, it's funny because, like I said, whenever I have FFRC up on the main TV, two of the cats love to jump onto the TV and start, pawing at the cats. From the depths of the sea and up from the dark came help unexpected from Steve the Shark. He rushed toward the net without missing a wave, got rid of his mask, and kicked into Brave. Reassuring them all that they'd be okay, Steve slashed and he cut, saving the day. They saw past his looks, his teeth, and his eyes, to his brave, daring heart and the treasure inside. Surrounded by friends on every side, Steve's heart was now filled with contentment and pride. A hero's parade was held at the park, loud cheers and applause for the acts of the shark. All the fish were amazed and surprised to discover you can't judge a shark by its looks or its cover. Give me 1 second. All right, so here's the picture. And here's the new thing. And look at that detail in that picture. It's wonderful. So this is all Steve's new friends that he has. About the author, Lee Walber is the author and illustrator of Porcupine Polly Needs a Hug. He served as a Pennsylvania State Trooper for 25 years and was known for the stuffed animals he would often hand out to children during incidents. Lee enjoys the challenge of creating characters with unique personalities and bringing them to life through his writing and art. Lee continues to entertain the littlest sharks from his home in Austin, Texas. It's a very, very cute book. All right, so we read what's that book that we read? But basically, we're going to read the original.
you heard, is it going to rain tonight?
I haven't heard. Stella Luna. Oh yeah, you were born down in Dayton. That's where my company is. They're based in Dayton, so I have to probably drive down there a couple times. I'm supposed to go down there at the end of July and spend the week there. All right, so Stella Luna.
I'm going to open the windows.
In a warm and sultry forest, far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit bat and her new baby. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. I know where Hicksville is, Sage. Oh, yeah. No, it's not far at all. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. I will name you Stella Luna, she crooned. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stella Luna clutched to her breast as she flew out to search for food. Pindy, Pindu. Oh, I totally forgot the book with the snake. It's the same author. We read it last week. Pinadu. Oh, God. One night, as Mother Bat followed the heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. With silent wings, the powerful bird swooped down upon the bats. Dodging and shrieking, Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck again and again, knocking Stella Luna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp as useless as wet paper. Down she went faster and faster into the forest below. Verdi, that's right, Verdi. This is the same author as Verdi, but this is like the original book, Stella Luna. The dark, leafy tangle of branches caught Stella Luna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stella Luna's tiny feet. Wrapping her wings about her, she clutched the thin branch, trembling with cold and fear. "Mother," Stella Luna squeaked, "where are you?" By daybreak, the baby bat couldn't hold on no longer. Down, down again she dropped. Flump! Stella Luna landed headfirst in a soft, downy nest, startling the three baby birds who have lived there. Stella Luna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below it. She listened to the babble of the three birds. "What was that?" cried Flap. "I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet," chirped Flitter. "Shh! Here comes Mama," hissed Pip. It's great, and the other thing is, with things opening up now, it is nice to see people here, you know. Many, many times that day, Mama Bird flew away. Oh, what is that? Hold on for 1 second. Insulin flow blocked. Let's see how bad it was. Nah, I didn't get much. All right, let's do that. All right. Many, many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. Stella Luna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird bought. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Plop! In dropped a big green grasshopper. Yum. Slimy yet satisfying. Stella Luna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all night, all day, and slept all night. She ate bugs, even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing. Except for one thing. Stella Luna still liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Once, when Mama was away, the curious baby birds decided to try it too. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. "Eek!" she cried. "Get back up here this instant. You're going to fall and break your necks." Actually, Songbird, she was talking about the book we read last week. It was called Verdi. It's the same author from as this book. The birds clambered back into the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stella Luna. "You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest until you promise to obey all the rules of this house." Stella Luna promised. She ate bugs without making faces. She slept in the nest at night, and she didn't hang by her feet. Stella Luna behaved as a good bird should. But she's not a bird. She's not a bird. All the babies grew up quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Flip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked. I'm just like them, thought Stella Luna. I can fly too. Yes, I'm multitasking. Well, Sharon, it's funny that you mentioned that. Because I was born and raised in the Philly area. And if you saw Bill Cosby getting released from prison, he was wearing a t-shirt of the high school that I went to. Just thought I'd share that. Pip, Flutter, and Flap landed gracefully on the branch. Stella Luna tried to do the same. How embarrassing. Yep. I left the Philadelphia area in 2006 and I moved to Virginia. And then last year we moved from Virginia to here in Defiance. I will fly all day, Stella Luna told herself. Then no one will see how clumsy I am. The next day, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna went flying far from home. They flew for hours, exercising their new wings. "The sun is setting," warned Flitter. Yes, I do. And you know, when I moved to Virginia, people would say, "Can you say water? Come on, say water." They all loved how I pronounced water. So, they flew for hours, exercising their new wings. "The sun is setting," warned Flitter. "We had better get home, or we will get lost in the dark," said Flap. But Stella Luna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The 3 anxious birds went home without her. All alone, Stella Luna flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. "I promised not to hang by my feet," Stella Luna sighed. So she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming near. "Hey, a loud voice said. Why are you hanging upside down? Stella Luna's eyes opened wide. She saw a most peculiar face. I'm not upside down. You are, Stella Luna said. Ah, but you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumbs. So that makes you upside down, the creature said. I'm a bat. I am hanging by my feet. That makes me right side up. Stella Luna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. Wrong for a bird, maybe, but not for a bat. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stella Luna told them her story. You ate bugs? Stuttered one. You slept at night? Gasped another. How very strange, they all murmured. Wait, let me look at this child, a bat pushed through the crowd. An owl attacked you, she asked. Sniffling Stella Luna's fur, she whispered, You are Stella Luna. You are my baby. I'm sure the next page will have the DNA results. You escaped the owl? Cried Stella Luna. You survived? Yes, said Mother Bat as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. Come with me and I will show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. But it's nighttime, Stella Luna squeaked. We can't fly in the dark or we'll crash into trees. We're bats, said Mother Bat. We can see in darkness. Come with us. Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stella Luna could see. She felt as though the rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. Yes, and I have a bat house at home, but I've never put it up. And I always mean to put it up. Soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much of the fruit as she could hold. I will never eat another bug as long as I live, cheered Stella Luna as she stuffed herself full. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. The next day, Stella Luna went to visit the birds. Come with me and meet my bat family, said Stella Luna. Okay, let's go, agreed Pip. They hang by their feet and they fly at night and they eat the best food in the world, Stella Luna explained to the birds on the way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stella Luna cried excitedly. We will fly at night. When night came, Stella Luna flew away. Pip, Flitter, and Flap leaped from the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing, yelled Pip. Neither can I, howled Flitter. I shrieked Flap. They're going to crash, gasped Stella Luna. I must rescue them. Stella Luna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to a tree, and the birds grasped the branch. Stella Luna hung from the limb above them. You're safe, said Stella Luna. Then she sighed. I wish you could see in the dark, too. We wish you could land on your feet, Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike? Mused Flitter. And how can we feel so differently and be so much alike? Wondered Pip. I think this is quite a mystery, Flap chirped. I agree, said Stella Luna, but we're friends. And that's a fact. And now we're going to read you the bat notes, just like there were snake notes in the book last week. Of the nearly 5,500 species of mammals on Earth, almost 1/4, more than 1,370 species, are bats, the only mammals capable of powered flight. The scientific name for bats is Chiroptera, hand wing, because the skeleton that supports the wing is composed of the animal's hand and elongated finger bones. Most bats use echolocation in order to navigate in flight, avoid obstacles, and detect and track prey. Echolocation is a form of biological sonar, using sound to sense the world around us. There are over 1,100 species of echolocating bats, and they live in every climate around the world, except the polar zones. Many eat insects, while others feed on fish, amphibians, reptiles, and even other mammals. Still, other echolocating bats feed on fruit or the nectar and pollen of flowers. Some of the most famous are vampire bats, of which there are nearly 3 species. Vampire bats can be found from Mexico to Argentina. They prey primarily on domestic cattle and native mammals and birds, from which they obtain blood meals through tiny bites. Contrary to myth, no bats are blind. However, not all bats echolocate. Most Old World fruit bats, like Stella Luna, instead use their keen vision and sense of smell to orient themselves and find their food. There are about 200 species of Old World fruit bats. The smallest have a wingspan of 11 inches. The largest have a wingspan of nearly 6 feet. Old World fruit bats generally have long muzzles, long eyes, or large eyes, pointy ears, and furry bodies, which is why they are often called flying foxes. They live in tropical and subtropical climates that provide year-round supplies of their favorite fruits, flowers, and nectar. Some fruit bats, as they forage for nectar, pollinate many types of night-blooming trees and plants. Others eat whole foods, seeds and all, and distribute the seeds over the forest floor in their droppings. In these ways, bats are very important to the regeneration of tropical forests. Oh, I didn't know there was another book. So these are the books. All right. We read Verity. We actually have Pindaloo here, but I might wait till next week to read that. But then there's this Crickwing. Interesting. I never knew about that. I'm going to have to pick that up. Crickwing. So. Alrighty. So these books are done. I didn't read Pindaloo. I'll read this later. I was going to read a little bit of the True False Book of Cats. Cats and people. Thousands of years ago, some old world peoples learned to plant seed and grow crops. They harvested grain and stored it for later use. Soon they had a problem. Armies of field mice discovered the stores of grain. Oh, you're welcome, Ms. M. I'm doing all right. How are you? In some areas, small wild cats discovered the armies of mice. They moved in to feast on the mice that were feasting on the grain. And that's how people and cats first came to know each other. Cats were prized as mouse catchers. Friendly ones were soon prized as pets. Sailors and other travelers learned about these cats. They brought or stole cats and took them home. In this way, tame cats spread all over the old world. Later, the New World was discovered. Its settlers bought their cats. When pioneers moved west, they took their cats. Almost everywhere, cats were treasured as pets and as the world's best mousetraps. Today's cats still catch mice, but they are mostly valued as pets because they are affectionate, clean, quiet, and easy to care for. See how much you know about cats. Read each statement in this book. Decide whether it's true or false. Then read the answer. Give your score a perfect or nearly perfect. So the first question they have here is, cats don't like to be stared at, true or false? And then it says, watch two cats lock eyes and stare at each other. The staring is not friendly. Finally, one gives in and looks away. With luck, no fur will fly. To a cat, a stare is a threat. And so it is true that cats do not like to be stared at. Your own cat likes to look at you, and it likes you to look back. But be sure to blink or to half close your eyes. Your cat may do the same. Looking without staring is like blowing kisses. It's warm and friendly. Cats often sit in the laps of guests who don't like cats. Some people think the cats are being mean, but they really aren't. When a cat enters a room, guests who like the cats usually stare at the cat. A cat who doesn't like cats looks away. Good night. To the cat, this person seems the friendliest one in the room, with the best lap to sit in. A cat rubs against your legs is saying hello. True or false? Rubbing is one way that cats greet people, and so it's true that the cat is saying hello. But the cat is also doing something else. It is marking you, and the mark says, this person belongs to me. Cats have special scent glands on their heads and tails. When a cat rubs against you, it rubs its scent on you. Humans cannot smell this scent, which is probably just as well. But other cats can. Cats have a keen sense of smell. They may spend minutes sniffing a person, a rug, or a place where some other animal has been. No one knows what they are learning, but it seems to be very interesting. A cat can see in total darkness, true or false? If there is no light at all, no one can see. So it's false to say that cats can see in total darkness. But cats don't need as much light to see. They can see when you can't. That's why it seems as if they can see without light. In many ways, human eyes and cat eyes are alike. Light enters the eye through a hole called the pupil. It falls on an area behind the eyeball. This area is lined with millions of cells. They sense light and send messages to the brain. The brain makes sense out of the messages, and the person or cat sees. A cat's eyes have extra cells that human eyes don't have. These cells act like mirrors. They gather up light that escapes the light-sensing cells. They bounce the light back into the eye. A cat uses every bit of light that enters its eyes. That is the main reason why it sees well in dim light. Next one is cats can't see color, true or false? Like human eyes, cats' eyes have two kinds of cells that sense light. These are called rods and cones. Rods sense dim light, which no color is seen. Cones sense bright light in which color can be seen. Even so, scientists long thought it was true that cats cannot see color. Cats are most active at night when there is no color. In hunting, cats find their prey by sound and movement, not by color. So these scientists said cats don't need to see color and cannot see color. Today's scientists say that is false, that cats can see color. But cats do not pay much attention to color. But tests show that they can see it. Many cat owners have long been sure their cats see color. A pet cat, for example, may always choose a pink ball instead of a blue, purple, or yellow one. It can also tell its own ball by color. Just checking on Alma. Yes. And donkeys, Songbird. You forgot the donkeys, the wonky donkeys. A cat's whiskers are feelers. True or false? When people speak of a cat's whiskers, they usually mean the long whiskers on the upper lip. Look carefully and you will see many more. There are whiskers on the chin, over the eyes, and far back on the cheeks. There are also whiskers on the back of the front legs. All of these whiskers are feelers. In fact, they are remarkable feelers. Whiskers help a cat judge if there is room for its body to squeeze through a small opening. Lip whiskers are used in hunting. When a cat catches a mouse, its whiskers surround the prey. The cat senses the shape of the mouse and knows exactly where to bite. Whiskers also help a cat move about in the dark. Although cats can see in the dark, they do not see as well as they do with more light. Whiskers give them extra information about what lies ahead. The whiskers sense air currents. When air currents meets a rock or some other object, they change direction and go around the object. A cat's whiskers sense this tiny change. A cat learns that something is in its path. That is how whiskers work with eyesight and help a cat find its way in the dark. There's some pictures. Cats hear sounds that humans can't hear. True or false? Cats have sharp ears and can hear many things that people can't. They hear sounds that are too faint for human ears. They also hear sounds that are too high-pitched for human ears, such as squeaks of mice. When cats hunt, their eyes and ears work together. A cat holds still, waits, looks, and listens. A tiny rustle, a high-pitched squeal, or a moving leaf may tell of prey. A cat's outer ears collect sounds. They are very good at this. They can be turned forward, sideways, or back. Each ear moves by itself. A cat can turn one forward and one backward. Watch a cat, and you will see it is always listening. Even a napping cat is listening. If something interesting happens, the cat is up and awake in a flash. Old cats, like old humans, do not hear high-pitched sounds as well as young ones. All right. I'm going to read one more. I'm going to cut it out. I'll cut it a little early today because I'm a little tired. Oh, thank you. Well, we're glad you're here, Sage. We're very glad, and we're glad that the songbird is here. All right, so I'm going to read one more, and then I'm going to stop for the night because I need to get to bed. I'm tired. Cats can sense that an earthquake is going to happen. True or false? Time and again, people have reported that their cats became very upset an hour or two before a big earthquake took place. The cats suddenly rushed about the house trying to get out. Once out, they fled from buildings. Mother cats ran back and forth carrying their kittens out of the house. Cats do not understand what an earthquake is, but it does seem to be true that they sense something strange, and it frightens them. Perhaps they hear sounds that people can't hear. Perhaps they sense something else. Scientists know that quakes are caused by forces inside the Earth. The forces put a strain on rock. When the rock snaps or shifts, an earthquake takes place. Before a quake, many small changes take place in the Earth. Scientists have instruments that tell them about some of these changes, but they would like very much to know what it is that the cats sense. All right, I am going to stop there for today. Now, like I said, I'm a little tired today. I don't know what it is. It's been a tough week. So, all right, I should be back next week. I will be driving home from Chicago next Wednesday, but I do expect to be here. So, thank you, everybody, and I will see you next week. Thank you, Songbird. Where's me?